Hello, children. Welcome to the world of poetry. This is your host, Swati Vaidya of Army Public School Delhi Cant, presenting before you a critical analysis of the poem The Rain on the Roof by Coach Skinny. This poem, as you know, has been taken from the book Beehive, which has been prescribed for class 9. Before we begin with the analysis, let us learn a little bit about the poet Coach Skinny. Coach Skinny was an American lawyer, politician, journalist, and a poet. He was born on November 24, 1826, near Pena, New York. As a young boy, he studied law and became a journalist. Coach Skinny died in Ohio on January 25, 1904. Children, life is filled up with memories, and these memories help us to cope up with the challenges. Often we look inwards to seek solace and reminisce the good times spent amidst nature. To begin with, here's a brief synopsis of the poem. The poet has sweet memories of his childhood. Whenever he lies in his cozy bed in his cottage and listens to the sound of the raindrops falling overhead on the roof of his cottage, he is filled with beautiful memories. When dark clouds cover the sky and it rains gently, he remembers his mother with fondness and nostalgia. The poet also expresses his love for nature and the healing power of rain. Whenever he hears the sound of the rain's pitter patter on the roof and he observes the starry sky being overcast with rain bearing clouds, it brings back a rush of memories. When the poet lies in the cozy comforts of his cottage chamber bed, he hears the pitter patter of the rain on the roof of his cottage. The rain compensates it with the spirit of peace for the lonely night at hand. As he lies listening to the repetitive rhythms of the raindrops falling on the roof, he also feels somehow the magical presence of his mother around him and visualizes her affectionate look bending over him. Thus, rain appears to be a bridging force between his present and his past. The theme of the poem is mainly about the healing power of rain and its ability to revive sweet memories. The rain also helps in rousing fancies in an otherwise busy mind and soothes and comforts an overworked mind. Now let us analyze the poem stanza-wise. In stanza number 1, the poet very beautifully describes the imagery of humid shadows hovering and the sky full of moisture-laden clouds which hover around over all the starry spheres. He further describes the raindrops appearing like tears falling from the dark sky which appears to be crying. And the poet says it is a blessing at that time to lie on the bed in the cottage chamber room and listen to the sound made by raindrops falling on the roof. In stanza 2, the poet describes how he hears the raindrops falling on the rooftop of his house, and every tinkle on the shingle has an echo in the heart. He also talks about how in his dreams he has many different fanciful imaginations and recollects many memories of the past which come rushing back. The pitter patter of the rain upon the roof fills him with nostalgia and memories of his past. In stanza 3, the poet lies weaving dreams of his past and remembers his mother. He recollects her deep love for him and his siblings. He also remembers how she would keep a loving and watchful eye on them till daybreak. He feels very strongly the presence of his mother even now while he is listening to the rain, as it brings back memories, and is able to correlate his past with the present. Now, children, let us analyze the literary devices used by the poet. To begin with, we have transferred epithet. Now, what is transferred epithet? Well, it is an adjective added before the name of a person or object in order to bestow qualities to that object. For example, melancholy darkness, dreamy fancies. The rhyme scheme used in the poem is A B C B D E F E. In alliteration, we see the consonant sounds repeated in words that appear together, isn't it? So, which are the alliterations used here? Well, they are lie listening, starry spheres, humid over, breast pillow, busy being, their thread, rain roof, memory mother, darling dreamers. Children, don't forget to underline these alliterations in the poem. Onomatopoeia is a poetic device in which certain words are used to denote real life sounds, like patter, tinkle. Personification is treating a non living thing as a living being. For example, melancholy, darkness, and a thousand recollections weave their air threads into woof. Now, children, if you remember, in the poem Wind 2, the poet had personified wind and he addressed wind as you. Now, let us see the vocabulary being used in the poem. To begin with, melancholy. Well, it means sad. Bliss means happiness. Patter is the sound of raindrops falling on the roof. Humid is something which is full of moisture. Shadows refers to the moisture laden clouds. Hover is to move around something, over something. Echo is a repeated sound. Woof means weft, that is the thread woven across the loom. And patter is the sound of raindrops falling on the roof. Cottage chamber is the bedroom. Tinkle refers to the short, light ringing sound. Shingles refers to the rectangular wooden tiles used on roofs. List is an archaic word for listen. Refrain is a repeated part of a song or a poem. Here, the sound of the rain is the refrain. Busy being are human beings, and here the poet is referring to himself. Is again an archaic word for before, and dawn refers to the daybreak. So, hope children, you understood the poem and found it easier to understand. Now, let us see how well you have understood it. So, here are a few questions for you. To begin with, what is the single major memory that comes to the poet? The poet has memories of his beloved mother. When he was a child, she would put him and his siblings to bed and allow them to sleep till late, till they had sweet dreams in their sleep. Second question is, who are the darling dreamers he refers to? Well, darling dreamers refers to the poet and his siblings when they were children and had sweet dreams. They were loved by their mother and so were her darlings. Now we have a few phrases that we must all be familiar with. First is humid shadows. It refers to the dark clouds which are full of water. Starry spheres refers to the sky at night time which is full of stars. Water bliss refers to the feeling of perfect happiness. Thousand dreamy fancies into busy being start means that people start having varied sweet dreams. Thousand recollections weave their air threads into woof means when people are asleep, the memories of the past come back into their mind in the form of dreams. So, dear children, hope you all enjoyed the presentation. Now, before we wind up, here are a few points to remember. Answer in the tense of the question. Write to the point. Follow the instructions. Adhere to the word limit. Write neatly. Watch your spellings. Revise your work. And don't forget to highlight the key points. I'm sure if you will remember all these points, your answers will be perfect and you'll score very well. So here's coming to the end of the presentation. Happy reading and enjoy your poetry sessions. Thank you and have a great day ahead.